Hi, everybody. This is Pastor G. Coming to you today with a word that you could live by. Actually, I'm in the sanctuary of the Mount Zion Church, sitting in the back. I love to come into the sanctuary when there's really no one around. It gives me a lot of peace. And God gives me a lot of insight. When God can get you alone, he can really talk to you. There's been a few things on my mind, in my spirit of late. I drive around, and of course my church is in the community. And there's just so much going on. There's so many people that are hurting, oppressed, discriminated, traumatized, just hurting. And I know that unless we have collaboration of all people in the city, in the area, nothing much is going to change. I mean, none of this stuff is new. It has been this way way past even the civil rights movement. You can even maybe trace it back to the plantation days of slavery. Just people who are hurting and used and abused and just hurt. And I often find myself, I just believe that the man of God, the pastors, the women of God, and I also often teach this here at Mount Zion, is that we're going to have to be the ones that go out into the community to actually make the difference. We're going to be the ones who are called, we are the ones who are called to be the light of the world. So I'm talking specifically to believers right now, those of us who are Christ-like, those of us who are the Christ-like children of God. And I know so many of you are my friends, and so many of us are out here in the community doing what Christ has mandated us to do, to go into the highways and the byways, to do what he did, and even then some, to free the captives, to bring light to darkness, to heal the brokenhearted, to bring deliverance to those who are enslaved. It's really up to us, because even though we are in the community and we need collaboration, we need to work with all those who have some sort of vested interest in the community. We have to work with them. But we understand that if they're not walking in the light, there's no way that you're either walking in the light or you're either walking in darkness. There's no in between. And those who are walking in the darkness or who are not walking in the light cannot possibly drive out darkness. Darkness cannot comprehend the light. So that means that we are going to have to, we, the true believers, the Christ-like children of God, we are going to have to get on one accord and work together, because we know that we work from the spirit of love and brokenness. And so it is up to us to come together. The problem is, the reason why did you see a lot of these situations in the community, the blight, is because the people of God are not unified. The so-called people of God are not loving one another. The so-called people of God are trying to tear each other down. So there's no way that in the midst of all of this hurt and pain and ungodliness that we see in the community, and we know that we are called to be the salt in the light of the world, but we can't drive it out because there has not been an influx of the light in our hearts. That's why judgment is going to begin with the people of God first. It is up to us. It is up to us to wake up the word and to stand on the word and to bring light to a dark situation. That means you might have to collaborate with some who are in darkness, but not to the degree that you allow your light to go out. Your light is supposed to shine even brighter in the midst of darkness. And so we have to be willing to call it what it is, not expect light to come from darkness, because light cannot possibly come from darkness. Light comes from God. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. So yes, it is up to us. So this is a clarion call. This is a challenge. This is a stark reminder that when you do your work in darkness, in the community, in the world, you must bring light. You cannot compromise with the darkness. You must not expect light to come from darkness. You collaborate with them as far as attaining and achieving a goal that will bring relief to those who are sick and suffering. But deliverance, not just bringing someone a sandwich, but I'm talking about deliverance, not just bringing somebody a coat or providing shelter. I'm talking about deliverance, because we ought to bring coats. We ought to be a shelter, bring shelter, provide shelter. We ought to provide bread. Amen. To those who are hungry, to those who are homeless. We ought to do all of those things. We are mandated to do it. But what profit a person if all we do is bring those things, those earthly needs, but then at the end of that person's journey, they lose their soul because there was no deliverance? We know what causes this stuff. Believers know what's causing the ills of society. Believers know that is sin. And only the light that can shine in darkness, that glorious light, can bring deliverance and true freedom. So while we are operating in the world, while we are bringing light to darkness, we got to understand that darkness does not like the light. You're going to be persecuted. You're going to be called names. They're going to try to destroy you. They may hang you and crucify you on the cross. But great is your reward at the end of all of this. You will have success because you already have, because Jesus already overcame it all. He said, you're going to have tribulations in this world, but be of good cheer. I have overcame it. And if I am in you, then you have overcame it along with me. If I be risen, you are risen with me. So you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. No matter what they do to you, you're going to be all right. But it's time to really to get on one accord. We who are believers, we who are worshipers, we who walk in the light, it's time for us to get together in love so that we could hold one another up, so that we can encourage one another as we all go through in our various ministries and our activism in the community. And all of that hard work, it'll be worth it all. Can I get an amen? So this is Pastor G, and this is the word that you can live by. Let your light shine. When the devil attacks you, when he comes in like a flood, the Spirit of God will lift up a standard against the enemy, and no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Be encouraged and get out there and let your light shine in the darkness. The darkness is plenteous, but the laborers are few. God bless you.